Alrighty, folks, we are almost one full month into 2025. How are you doing on your goals, your New Year's resolutions? I hope you have survived National Quitting Day, which is January 10th. Yes, it's said that 83% of you quit by the 10th. We're going to talk about my goal for 2025, which is to get healthy. I'm using Dr. Jeff here to help me do that. So this is our monthly check-in. You will be able to ask questions. This is live. We will just riff on our own. But hey, if you have a question, you want to see what's going on, put it in the comments and we might get to it. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a fun month. Already seeing some progress. We can talk about all things, but you're the doctor, so I will just shut up and let you ask some questions.
Well, why don't we talk about what you've seen in that month and why it's been a fun month? And we should tell everyone that we had the opportunity to work out together 12 days ago, and we had fun, and we put you through the task. You put me through some tasks too. I've incorporated some of your biceps hammer painful. Yeah. I call them Zubers. I've been doing the Zubers.
Yeah, those are sneaky. Those are sneaky.
Yeah, they are. Those are good though. So we also got to use the machine to do your body composition at the gym, so we could compare it to your DEXA. We'll do that today as well. But yeah. So what fun and what have you noticed so far for this month?
Well, it's really interesting because as of right now, I'm down 14 pounds. Right. We started it. I started at 218. I'm now at 204. I'm hoping to get, frankly, to 203 by the end of the month. So that I could do 15 pounds. I think it would be a good thing. In fairness, folks, just so you have context, I started taking this seriously December 15th. So it's not 15 pounds in a month. It'll be 15 pounds in 6 weeks for full clarity. I started getting serious after all the tests were done, blood work, DEXA scan, all of that. So it's been a 6-week journey. There's just a lot of things that I have gotten wrong. Right. I mean, there's just so many things like one thing that really hits me is for the longest time, I believed a workout had to leave me gasping for air. Right. I performed CrossFit for the better part of 4 years. And frankly, I judged myself by how long it took me to peel myself off the floor. Right. That was my mental. That was a good workout or that was a bad workout. Right. That's just how I operated. And, you know, that comes with a cost, right? It's harder to recover, certainly as you get older. It kicks off, hunger hormones and stuff like I didn't realize. It doesn't necessarily burn fat, which is, what I was telling myself. Oh, I gotta be incinerating fat. I'm working so hard. Fast forward to what I'm doing now is, I'm averaging about 20,000 steps a day, roughly. And that just does something different. From a sample size of 1, right? Me walking, keeping me in zone 1 is more fat burning than a 13 or 14 minute high energy, CrossFit workout that it took me 10 minutes to get off the ground. It's wild. Like just everything I thought about fitness as a, young man is proving to be almost ass backwards as a 50-plus-year-old. So that's the first thing that hit me.
Okay, good. And what about the workout? So we've given you some high intensity, 1 set to failure things, even though we did a couple things differently when we met up. Mm-hmm. For some exercises like bench press. Yep. What have you noticed there on the high intensity workout? How are you doing on those?
So going to failure is a new thing, right? Because I still have to figure out what that is. I have to watch form a lot more. The other thing is what, again, just how stupid I was. I used to believe all sets had to be 8 to 10 reps. It's just what I believe, right? 8 okay, 10 okay, 11 bad, 7 bad. Now it's like, it's okay to do 23 or, 28 to get that stimulus. I will admit that I very rarely ever do one set, right? I will do a set to failure, then do something else, and then come back to it, hit it again. Um, I just, I just don't. I'm not comfortable doing one set of anything as of right now. Um, but it's the other thing I've learned is it's okay to do a workout in 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. My warm ups used to be 20 minutes. It's just wild. So, it's wild to just see everything that I used to just believe is the way is not the way. So
Right.
you're helping me crumble a lot of,
Well,
misguided things.
listen, I've had to relearn a lot of this too. This is latest exercise science over the last 5 to 10 years. So, I grew up like you. You do you do as many steps as you can, or you do 3 sets times 10, right? Everyone
Right.
does that. So, but no, that's the work is done at the failure rep.
Correct.
That's where the growth, the final survival of those muscle fibers comes from. So,
yeah, and it's been fun to. It's been, and again, the other thing is ego check, right? Like I used to, bench regularly, 185 to 225, but you're only doing 4 to 6 to 8 reps of those, and
right.
now I throw 135 or 155 on the bar, and I might get to 21 or 22. But you're right, the stimulus is at that point of failure. It's not about the weight on the bar; it's about the stress on the muscle, which is
Right.
just it's game changing, right?
Yeah. So
less
and you
injuries.
don't want to rest. That
Yeah.
rest is as cheating.
Yes.
So when you're doing a bench press and you're okay, we're gonna try to do a few more, but you rest down here at your chest, that's cheating. So
yes.
So you
keep it
have
moving.
to keep moving. You cannot rest. You have to have the negative and the positive, which we did
with
the Zubers.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm like chin-ups and pull-ups, right? I'm doing a lot more negatives than I've ever done, right?
Good.
Kind of 3 seconds on the way down. Cause that's like when we did the test, you had me do a bunch of tests.
Yep.
That was the one movement that I deemed as unacceptable. So I'm
Right.
going back and doing more of those, right? Doing negatives. I started with kind of doing 2 seconds, now 3 seconds, hopefully getting to 5 seconds here shortly. But yeah, negatives, man, that don't just let it go down and bounce. It's, control the negative.
Right. Very good. Okay. So let's talk about the weight. You said you're down 14 pounds. When we talked on the 13th, you were down 14 pounds. So does this mean you stopped losing weight, or are we seeing a compositional change?
Probably compositional change.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay with me, but let's make sure everyone's clear on that.
Mm-hmm.
Your weight is the same, but you're losing fat and gaining muscle.
Yeah, and you could tell clothes, there's definition starting to come back to the abs. Yeah, so it's definitely composition.
Okay. So I took a look at your body composition on the machine we did and compared it to your DEXA.
Ooh, cool.
And the printout we have is here. I'll just share it with you. Can I share the screen? I think I need
you can.
Your
nope. Yeah, you'll just share it and then I'll add it to the window.
Okay. How do I do that?
So you should be able to say present, and then there'll be a button that says share screen or share desktop or something that comes up.
Oh, I see it now. I had to open up my window. Okay, share screen. And it's going to be window. And it's this one. No, window.
This is what happens when we do these live.
Yeah, right? Well, try this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm having some trouble. I don't know what you can see there.
So there's a screen, and then if you click on a window, let's see if it pops up. Nope.
All right, let me try again. I think that looks like a mirror in front of and behind us. Share screen. Let's see. This would be it's a window. Try that. Okay. There you
There
go.
we go. Hey,
Okay.
nice work.
So unfortunately, I think we're missing part of the print when we printed that. You can probably pull this up on your app. But I was looking for using body fat percentage.
Okay.
By the way, we did this for the basal metabolic rate. And for everyone listening, this means, we can't assume everyone has a 2,000 calorie day as normal.
Right.
For your body composition, the machine estimates you need just to live, your body burns 1,889 calories a day.
So that's before any exercise, before walking, before.
Correct.
Okay.
So because you're doing all those things, you are burning more than this, which is why you're losing weight at the end of the day. Okay.
Got it. Okay.
And you're doing it, in a better way. Now, I think we're missing these percentages of what these pounds are. These are your total weight was 210 that afternoon. So if you do morning weight, then you can't really compare that.
Yeah. More fully clothed and yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think the 30.2 is your body fat percentage, because when I look at where's the DEXA? When I look at your DEXA, it calculated 34.4, but the DEXA was on December 3rd.
Right.
So you may have already lost, and again, the machines are not exactly, you may have gone exactly correlated, but you may have gone from 34.4 to 30.2. So that's you keep that going, and we're going to hit, my goal is to get you below 20% body fat by the end of the year. You're going to get there before then.
Yeah. Good. Because my goal is not 20%. Again, this is about Zuber doing something hard. I'm shooting for 9.9. So let's stop talking. I don't want
to create an unrealistic situation, but I think
if you ask me my goal, Jeff, that is the goal.
Okay.
That's what I want to be thinking about. I have the luxury in life, the time, the dollars.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And so we're not going to do tests for your pull-ups and your squats and push-ups and hang time and all that, but plank time. But how are you doing with that stuff?
Good. I don't, the plank is the one that I've picked up on, trying to add a second a day. Adding the side planks are helpful.
Good.
And then the other ones, like I said, pull-ups and chin-ups was a disappointment. So I'm adding specific work. Like, for example, there's a loop around my house that's 1.5 miles. I plug in a podcast, all of that. But right about the halfway point, there's a pull-up bar. So every lap, I will do somewhere between 5 and 7 pull-ups. Now, again, those are one at a time, typically focused on the negative. So like yesterday, I think I did 6 of those laps. So I did 35 to 36, pull-ups.
Good.
And so, I like to focus on areas of weakness. So that's the one I picked up on. So
good. Okay. I like that. And I think you'll build good muscle there. The lats, because, you really build it up. Let's talk. You sent me this morning upon request your Oura Ring data for sleep, and I looked at that. Let's see if she put it in the file here. She didn't file it yet, but I have it on my phone. I think she sent it there. Let's see.
I think that one I might have sent to your email. There's one I sent to your email because it was a report, and the others were just screenshots, which I sent to your phone.
Okay. See if I can find it here. I did look at it and then I got busy, but here it is, 30 days sleep. So your sleep, you've never been a sleep problem as far as our discussion goes. So I don't think we're going to have issues there. Let me just share this real quick. Here's your 30-day sleep trend with the Oura Ring.
Yep.
You sleep an average of 6 hours, 55 minutes in the last 30 days. You wake up, like you said,
6 a.m.
right before 6 naturally. You're getting 24% REM, which is good. You fall asleep within 8 minutes. You go to bed at 10:10 on average.
Yep.
I mean, I'm guessing 9 out of 10 people listening to this would love to have this sleep program.
that's so you're saying that's something I do well? Yes.
Yes. That's not something we need to work on. Plus, if you're walking 20,000 steps a day and you're doing the exercises and the workouts and you're noticing the body compositional change, you're getting the repair you need at night at the cellular level. We don't need to mess with this. There's nothing to mess with, really.
Yeah, and again, so people know that. I mean, that's been my 10 o'clock to 6 a.m. for 20 years. I haven't had an alarm clock for 20 years. Yep.
Okay. So let's see. Stop sharing. The next part is, I think we were going to talk about HRV, and you may have to look that up on your phone. I don't know if we had a chance to.
Yeah, I'm still learning how to use the app, but there's this thing called Trends. Yeah. And that's in readiness, I think. And rest. No, you wanted HRV, variability. Right. So again, I sent you a picture of it. It says 49 ms at the top. I can send a picture to you.
I see that here. Sorry. So that's on my phone, so I can't really share it. But yeah. So what you want to see here, what you want to pay attention to is, 46 is up for you.
Okay.
You were down in the 30s. You're already improving here.
Right. Okay. So that's good.
That's very good.
Okay. So
making strides there. And then we were going to look at your macros.
Okay. Let me see. So that is not in Aura Ring. That is in MyFitnessPal, right?
Right.
So is there a report in here? Forgive me. I don't know where to look for all of this.
I'm not sure.
Nutrition. So I could look by day, it looks like. Oh, week view. There we go. So on a week view, it looks like
protein is really what I'm making sure you're getting enough of here. That's my main goal early on for muscle building.
Oh yeah, I get enough protein every day. I'm lucky. Protein's easy for me. I'm eating ribeye steaks, protein bars, flank steaks, yellowtail sashimi. So my average protein over the last 7 days is 143 grams, and my goal is 120. Carbs goal is 300. I only get 90.
Perfect. Love it. Stay there. Whatever you're doing diet wise, stay there. And how are you doing with your supplements?
The vitamins, you mean? Every day.
Yeah.
Like clockwork, twice a day, morning and night.
Okay. Excellent. So funny thing, I had my own vitamin D level checked. I personally have trouble absorbing vitamin D. I'm taking 10,000 IUs a day. I still have a lowish vitamin D. So I am now going to start injecting vitamin D.
Oh, wow.
Vitamin D is so crucial.
Is that the sun? Vitamin D is sun?
Well, it's the one that people think the sun gives you enough of, but the sun converts vitamin D2 to vitamin D3. Oh. But unless you're in the sun all day, every day, and you have enough vitamin D2, it's probably not ideal. Okay. It's probably not enough. Okay, now here's the ones I really want to check on. Flossing. Okay. How you doing on the flossing?
Every day at night. It's part of my nightly routine now. Sits next to my toothpaste.
Good. Keep it up. Okay, now let's talk about skin. When you and I met, you said, hey, the moisturizer actually burns my skin. I remember that now. And your skin was a little dry still. And so I did a little homework for you. And I think we're going to do what the ancient Egyptians and Greeks did. I think we're going to go with some olive oil.
Really? All right. Well, that's net new. Okay.
So take some of the extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
And after your shower.
Okay.
Whenever that is. I want you to work on that dry skin. Dry skin is not as good a barrier as moisturized skin. Dry skin, therefore, can have more sun damage, more precancerous, and even more chance of cancer lesions. So we want to moisturize that skin. So we're going to try olive oil. We can also go with the coconut oil.
So literally just take olive oil that I would cook with, put it in a bottle, and rub it on my face. No
anoint yourself. Yeah. All right. No, just use it straight. Now, it's going to feel a little greasy and stuff, but that's okay. This is nothing new. This is thousands of years. Yes, you can buy some products that involve this, but I don't think we want to use anything artificial in use. So just go straight.
Okay.
Let's see how you do.
Okay. Olive oil. That's a new. Okay. Got it.
By the way, I was looking at my notes from last time. Your HRV was 37, and now it's 46. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and some of that's again because of our conversations. Before the last one, I was just going for long walks, right?
Yeah.
And our conversation is like, no, stupid. You've got to test the heart also. So I've incorporated some air bikes, some hill running, some other stuff to test the heart.
Good.
Every week.
Yeah, I want you to mix it up. This interval training is all about getting the heart to adjust to fast, adjust to slow. Right. So your heart is nimble. A nimble heart is a muscle that responds better and quicker to changing needs. You ever been like totally relaxed and somebody scares you? They think they're going to be funny and they scare you. You're like, oh shoot, that was like
jolt.
Okay. Well, people can have a heart attack if your heart isn't nimble. So get your heart nimble.
Okay. Yeah. So again, that was again because of our conversations and not understanding. But the good news is I have lots of high intensity workouts I could do. So I'll just add those in a couple times a week.
Okay, good. Now we're going to talk about your glycan age test. Did you ever look at that?
No. Is that the one where I poked my finger and bled on it?
Is.
Yeah. Never seen the results.
So let's talk about it. You're going to see them right now.
Awesome.
This is a biological age test. It looks at your inflammation. It looks at all kinds of things in the bloodstream. Share screen. I'm getting better at the share screen. Watch.
He can learn.
Okay, we don't need that. There you go. Okay. So this is the doctor version of the report. This is the test you did. I guess you pricked your finger on November 30th.
Yep.
Okay. And then, so this test looks at a bunch of different things, but it looks at sugar molecules that get attached to antibodies and things circulating in your bloodstream. There are known patterns that match with your status of inflammation and healthy age groups. So they can match you to an age group. It measures this through what's called inflammaging, which is inflammation as a measure of age at the cellular level. It's a measure of chronic inflammation of the immune system because it looks at antibodies. So it studies these patterns. They've had hundreds of thousands of data points, so they can really hone this in. Okay.
Right. Yep.
All right. Here are your results. We're going to go in more detail.
Okay.
This may shock you.
I'm 77.
70. Well, no, there's going to be a weighted average of this. These are different patterns.
Okay.
Some of them you're average. Okay.
Yeah.
Some of them you're, worse than average, and some of them you're really bad. So the chronic inflammation score is actually very high, and we don't know why. Right? It could be from something you did in your youth. It could be from the fact that your skin is dry. It could be something genetic. But most of this is modifiable, and that's what we're going to do here. And just to remind the audience, you signed up for two of these, one at the beginning, one at the end.
Yep.
So they have different profiles. So the chronic inflammation score, they think you're 77, which is wrong.
Woo! Yeah.
And if you skip down to the youth score, sort of the opposite of the biological age, you're red, which is not good. You have the least youth appearance. So we need to flip. These two will move against each other in the right way.
Okay.
And there's another inflammatory marker that they do, and these are different patterns. Some of these have overlapping elements.
Okay.
So many of them are like the lifestyle one has to. So you're doing better there than anywhere, and that's because you exercise and you eat right and you're doing all these and you sleep right. So we know we're doing that stuff right. We need to work on some of these other ones.
Yeah. No kidding. This report is frankly scary.
It should be good.
Oh, good. Oh, shit. Great.
So they also look at different subsets of patterns. So you have some cardiovascular risks. I don't think you'll ever manifest them if you keep active like this and eat right, which you are. They don't show you any patterns of having problems with your lipids or your fats. And these are inflammatory things. Any of these run in your family? Rheumatoid arthritis, ulcerative colitis, or Crohn's disease?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
These are all autoimmune. It's where the body attacks itself and causes inflammation. So they show a pattern of those, and we're going to have to look at that closer. We may do some blood tests to look at it.
Okay.
They also show a risk factor, a pattern of COPD, which is like what smokers get, but you don't have that. You've never been a smoker, right?
No, never.
Okay. So these sugar molecules are called glycans, and they regulate pro and anti-inflammatory functions of the immune system. This is that first one we talked about.
Wow, that's ugly.
That means we need to work on an immune system. And one of the things we're going to get to is possibly doing a regenerative treatment, like an IV, exosomes, stem cell derived exosomes or something to help blast that down. There are things we can try. When you look at that, what contributes to that would be, so for an optimized lifestyle, obviously you want diet, sleep, exercise, stress management. I think you have all that in the right place. Some of them are genetic, right? You can have centenarian genes, which means the genetic profile of someone that lives to be over 100, and the good glycan genes, so there is a genetic component. You can't change that yet. We're not going to talk about gene therapy today. Hormone replacement therapy, and we haven't started the testosterone yet. I owe you that. That's going to help here, I think, with reducing inflammation. When you lose your healthy, youthful hormones, you become more inflamed. That alone could be a big driver here.
Okay.
Prolonged use of steroids can suppress the immune system. You don't have that.
Nope.
And biologics like stem cells and things can help.
Okay.
Other things here don't fit your profile. And then some of the bad things are just kind of the opposites over here.
Right.
Okay.
So do you think this is something that, over the course of the year, we go from whatever it was, 97, we could get back to that's something we'll see change, you think?
You're 77. And I expect my goal is to get that not only down to 52, but even lower. We're going to lower your biological age significantly.
All right. Okay.
That's the hard work. That's the real result we want to get out of this.
Okay.
Okay. So this is where, if you have multiple data points, we don't have that yet. So here's the glycan shield. This is the one you're pretty good at. It's not your best one, but you're pretty good at. It's the second best one in your profile. And it says if you're 44, you can improve this one by considering magnesium, omega-3, and vitamin D.
Hey,
well, we added all three of those.
Yes.
You already sort of intermittent fast, so that's here. We also did a real fast.
Yeah.
It says optimize workouts, and I think we are doing that. And then it talks about maybe possibly NAD plus and some other vitamins, and we're going to build on that. But I think we've already made some of these changes. And then this is that glycan youth. It's sort of the opposite of the age score. And again, this is the one where testosterone is going to make the biggest difference. It says check out body composition. We did that. You're working on that and getting results.
Yep.
Weight loss, sex hormones, manage of autoimmune conditions. You don't have those. So I imagine we're already doing all the right stuff. And the mature one, this is where they think the one index is 90. By the way, that 77 is the overall weighted result.
Right. Cumulative. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
It's weighted though, and I don't know how they weighted it, because you look at the individuals. You got 90, you got 70. Oh wait, 77. Yeah, this is the weighted result of all these. Yep. So that 90 has a lot to do with that 77. Okay.
Got it. Yep.
Where were we? Okay, we talked about that. This one's not horrible. It's not great either, and this has to do with cardiovascular profile, which was fine on your testing. Lipid profile was pretty good and all that. So I have a feeling this will correct as there's overlap. So as we correct the other ones.
Okay.
The lifestyle one's great. It's smoking. You don't do that unless you're in bad air quality or toxins around you, stress, body composition we're working on, and diet we're working on. No ultra. I mean, you're a pretty good eater. So the only thing that's going to really work here is weight loss.
Yep.
But this is your best one.
Mm-hmm.
The lifestyle one is 60. You're in the average zone. That's your best one.
Barely average.
That's all right. I want this to be shocking.
Yeah, it's just
So,
we got to start somewhere.
So they show, given these patterns, you're at increased risk of high blood pressure. Again, we're going to change your body composition, the omega-3s, the vitamin D, all that stuff is going to work against this. So did you have anyone in the family with high blood pressure?
It's not something we talk about. Not that I remember.
Okay. So remember the BMI above 25 is a risk factor. That's really probably the driving factor. We're going to get, that's going down. Same thing with pre-hypertension. It's the same thing. Same thing in the hypertension. They have a different but overlapping patterns on this. They have studies. Mm-hmm. And then heart attack and stroke is what this really speaks to.
Okay.
Same thing, BMI above 25 and family history. Yeah. So we've done some of these lab tests and they're all pretty good. So therefore, what we really can do is work on that BMI. And I have a feeling a lot of these are going to come right down. Type 2 diabetes, again, the BMI, your HbA1c was good, but it's going to get even better. Your lipid profile, we're going to continue to work on, and we've done most of these blood tests already. But again, other factors, BMI over 25.
Yep.
Rheumatoid arthritis, you don't have the symptoms of that. You don't have the family history of that. You're not a woman. It's a higher risk factor. And you're active. You don't have a lot of musculoskeletal complaints. So we'll just continue to attack this as we are. There's nothing to do here. Ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease are kind of in the same family of autoimmune bowel problems. You don't have that.
Yep.
Okay. And then systemic lupus, that's some specific blood tests for that. You don't have any risk factors or any indications. You don't have the skin rash, the butterfly skin rash or anything there. Okay. I think if we improve your other inflammatory patterns, that'll all improve. And the lung problem, the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, if you had difficulty breathing or chronic cough or fatigue, which you have none of, we would look at that. But I have a feeling those are all going to get fixed as we continue to improve things. Your diet, we're already working on. Your stress is not a problem. Insufficient sleep is not a problem. Over exercising, I don't think so. No. Your HRV would actually take a dip if you were doing that. And remember, we said, 4 workouts a week. On the off days, I know you still do some stuff, but you got your workout down to 20, 25 minutes. Your body's used to thousands of steps. Now you've increased that to 20,000. So and you're losing the weight, which is going to improve all these. These are for those things.
Yeah, and just so people realize, this is all a test. I literally just pricked my finger and basically drops of blood in 2 different spots, as I remember. So this was not a very intrusive. All these results from like 4 or 5 drops of blood.
Right, and supplements. We're adding the omega-3. Mm-hmm. There are other things we can look at. I want to add to your supplements now that you've got a routine, but we don't want to go crazy. Some people use metformin. We had once talked about starting a GLP-1, agonist with you, but we decided not to because you were making progress and maybe didn't need it. We could try metformin as an anti-aging medicine. This is a pill that people take, and I've done it myself. It's a pill you take to reduce your blood sugar, the effect of blood sugar in you. Now, you're not having a lot of carbs. Your blood sugar is probably not an issue, but we can still add metformin. It has benefits. And they've done some studies here. But I think we get your testosterone replacement going first.
Okay. Makes sense.
Andropause is basically the loss of testosterone, reduced testosterone in men and the changes in their cells.
Okay.
And they're showing how you can improve these 2 sub tests within their different batteries of tests with the testosterone replacement therapy. So they have a lot of research on this. Okay. And that is it. So with your glycanage test. So therefore we have work to do, and we're going to know get great results of this at the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
because we want to get that way down.
Yeah, we do. That's frightening, frankly, to look at that. Yeah.
It's okay. And even though you were exercising and you were walking and you were eating pretty good and stuff, you were low on testosterone. You were not taking supplements and vitamins and stuff like that. So we have a lot we need to accomplish there. Let me look at my list. See where did I leave any questions for you so far?
No, we do have some comments in the audience. Thanks for all the people watching and kind of going along with this journey. Let's talk about BMI as a measure. What it is? Do you count on it? There's some folks asking basically about BMI.
So let's talk about BMI. We used to just look at weight, right? What's your weight? How fat are you?
Right.
Just go on weight. But for a different height of person, that like if you take a 6'5" man, 250 pounds may be normal. So they came up with this index, body mass index. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that body mass index was a way to incorporate height and weight into a more useful way of measuring how you're doing your weight for your height. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's I'm going to show you something here. Let me share this if I can get it open. Present. This is a body mass index table. Sorry, it's in kilograms. Pounds are at the top. So if you are a 6'5" man, your 50%, or sorry, your ideal weight, your BMI in the green would be, call it just under 200 pounds.
Sure.
Okay. So now if you're a 5-foot man and you're 200 pounds, you're in the deep orange here. Mm-hmm. And that's a high BMI. So you want your BMI in the green area. These people are a little lower in blue, but okay. We want to get down into this area. So BMI allows for some consideration of your height.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And there are different ways to do this. This is simple. You can also have your BMI, measured in different types of dunk tanks and things. But
right. The other thing I thought we could talk about, because again, it's the goal that I'm putting out there for myself, this 9.9% body fat, because I've never been there ever, single digits. I've been watching a lot of content on this, and it seems like kind of, abs definition in a male, right? This is not female. These are male numbers. Typically comes into play right around 12 to 15%, generally speaking. What do you walk around at? Are you like a 14, 15? You're a pretty fit guy. What's your?
No, I think I was just 18 point something body fat.
Oh, wow.
At the last measure, using that machine at the gym. So. Yep. I was away on a vacation last week, so it's probably a little high. But back to it today, although we did exercise quite well and got my high intensity workouts in, and so it's I'd like to get that down a little bit more, maybe even see some definition of muscles that I've never seen, but that you can't just, you have to eat specifically. You have to eat to put on that muscle. So you really high protein, low carb, kind of like you're doing. You could even, when you're gaining muscle though, Michael, we could even add protein, even though your target was, what was it, 120 grams or something 140
like that, yeah. 140.
And you were getting more than that. You could push that to 180, 200 grams a day. And that would be good. You need that if you want to put on the muscle.
Okay.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
Yes, for sure.
You got to do your sit-ups in the kitchen. I think that's what.
Exactly. Is that where I can do my planks right in front of the stove?
and your dragon flags. How are your dragon flags coming?
Still. That's a new one for me. Still trying to figure it out.
Okay. And then how's your journaling?
Not great. That has not become a habit yet for me, frankly.
Okay. And part of that, I think, is we're trying to figure out what to journal. And I'm still,
Yeah.
that's a project of mine. So I think the take home for today is continue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maintenance, compliance, don't give up. This is hard. And Michael Zuber does hard things and he accomplishes them. We're going to add the testosterone in. I don't need you to add steps. 20,000 is, you could even back that down to your 14, 15,000. I like the idea that you're doing the chin-ups each round or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to go back and do 2 or 3 sets, as long as you're doing them to failure.
Right. Yeah. That's the thing for me is I'm still trying. I'm still trying to work like different movements. I'm trying to figure out what failure feels like, right? Before form gets sacrificed. So I have never trained to failure. I've trained to exhaustion. I've trained to, probably a heart rate over 180 back when I was very focused on CrossFit, but I've never trained a muscle failure. So that's brand new to me.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
So as long as we're making progress with what you're doing, sounds like we are, we'll just build on that. So today we're not going to build on too much. Today's about keeping it going.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we know your biological age, hopefully you're encouraged to really push. Although you've probably already made inroads into that,
Yeah. Well, again, this is why this is the hard thing for the year. It was a no-brainer. I completed the marathon last year, but I also gave up a lot of things. I didn't touch a barbell for 9 months, and I let my diet get away from me because I was telling myself I'm running so much. So this was all self-induced. I was before we talked and you said yes to doing this crazy idea. I was in the worst shape of my life, but I completed a marathon, which is probably ass backwards to a lot of people, but it just was. Yeah.
Well, we've got some other people who got interested in this, and I got interested in this. We created a webpage for doing this with people, a 1-year biotransformation program. So
nice.
You helped create that Frankensteinism that we're doing to change people and make them accountable. So and we'll keep pushing it.
Yeah, I like it. No, this has been a lot of fun for me. Keep the things coming. I hold myself accountable because I talk to my audience and I just share everything. So it's really easy to keep, doing the steps and eating right when my audience is going to hold me accountable. So it's fun.
Great. Any other questions from?
Nope.
From here. Okay.
Nope.
So that was BMI. We explained BMI, and then but the body composition, body fat, stuff like that. That's even more detailed, right? And that's even the components of what makes up your body mass index. The body mass index is kind of an estimate of how your body's made, because you could take 2 guys that are 6 foot that both weigh 180 pounds, and they may have a different body composition.
Oh, clearly, yeah, absolutely,
yeah.
Very cool. Well, is that it for the live stream today, Doc?
I think so. Again, keep it up. We interact in between just to talk and text and keep using your data as a guide. Look at your resting heart rate, your HRV. We'll look at some of these data again soon. And last time we looked at active energy calories burned and how that jumped. And I imagine that's at least the same. As you go to failure, I think it's even better. Nice. We can even talk about, pre-workout and more of the protein and, adding creatinine and stuff like that to your protein, and if it's not already in it. So there's a lot we can build on, but we can also do this without going crazy and dive into each detail. And, we got to get you healthy, and we got to focus on your longevity and your health span and all that. And we're making these bold steps. And right now we just need to make them routine, daily habits.
Very good. Well, again, this is only month 1 into a 12-month journey. Doc, thank you for being here. Again, if somebody wanted to go check you out, just go to recelebrate.com. Follow him on Instagram. He puts it all out there. And Jeff, thank you so much.
Always my pleasure.
Awesome.